Oh, morning. Afternoon. Should I say afternoon? It is. Oh my God, what's the time? 1:30. 1:30. If you can see the screen, you can see me all right. Welcome to a very sunny afternoon here in darling buds of May country. Darling buds of me. I live in the Weald. Beautiful, beautiful part of the world. Just bumped into one of my mates this morning, a couple of mates actually, to be fair. Just cycled down and seen them. He's down in Kent visiting for the weekend. My gorgeous mate Perry Glover and my lovely mate Steph. We're going to be chatting about this and that today, ladies and gentlemen. And look, I smashed my thumb yesterday. Oh, it really hurts. Richard, I was at my missus went, I need a new log box made for this room. So we put the logs in. So I stripped the pallets down and I used a whole, do you know, a nail punch, claw hammer? Bosh, missed the nail punch, and I wedged me thumb between the claw hammer and the pallet, which in an ideal world is not a very fantastic situation. How are we all doing out there, people? We all right? The weather's changing. I want it beautiful. I've just been out for a lovely cycle. It is fantastic, and mainly this year, since we've been doing this business called lockdown, which I've not taken no notice of at all. Why is that? Because if I'm focused on, it all started years ago, right? It started with 9/11. Well, it actually started before that. It started with the RA, terrorism, all this boogeyman. There's always a boogeyman out there. He might be big, fat, slim. It don't matter. There's a boogeyman somewhere. So it was the RA. Then we had the RA, then we had Twin Towers, and then we've had SARS, Ebola, AIDS. There's always a boogeyman. Always a boogeyman. And yeah, Dinar 30. And cool, let me tell you. Owen, hello, mate. It looks like my thumb. He's like, look at it. Look, it's really bad. My missus said to me last night, come here, let me stick a pin in it. I went, you can keep your pin. She went, it won't hurt. I said, look, the difference is when I whacked it with a claw hammer, it was an involuntary action. Involuntary. But me holding my hand up and letting you stick a big pin in it to pop it is voluntary, and I just can't do that. I'm such a wuss. I really am when it comes to pain. If the old Bill ever took me into a cell and started using anal beads and cuffs and that on me and all the whips and the chains and the dips, I'll probably pass out. I just don't do pain. I'm terrible. So the point is this: if I worry about the IRA, if I worry about Ebola, if I worry about 9/11, if I worry about SARS, chicken flu, bird flu, all these other things, what I'm actually not doing is I'm not living a life. And you can't get this time period back, ladies and gentlemen. The government have shut this country down. You can't get this done. You can't get that. They've shut it down. You're only here once in your physical form, and they've taken all of what you knew and trust and love. They've taken it away from you. We're going to be talking about a story today. This is in Life News. Nursing home resident euthanized against her will. And I'll put a comment up. They did this in Germany. Will be you one day. Think on, suckers. And it's true. We can all turn the proverbial blind eye, can't we? No, it's not happening. No, it's not. No, I'm not listening. I'm not listening. Right, that's fine. Absolutely fine. If you don't want to listen and you don't want to pay attention, I can imagine it's a bit like Nazi Germany when everyone was going, oh, they're going to come for this certain group of people. They're going to use machine guns the night of broken glass. Nah, man. Listen, you're one of them conspiracy theories. You're a nutcase. Go on. Be on with you. I reckon back then there must have been plenty of people raising the alarm bells saying, be careful. We see things coming. I'll give you an example. There was a human rights lawyer in Germany, a really blessed soul. Hello, Hannah. Hello, Trace. Marshall. Kobe and P. Lovely to see you. Thanks for tuning in. So, this human rights lawyer in the Supreme Courts of Germany started to realise he weren't too happy with what was going on with their parliament, with this rise of the National Socialist Party. And he started to go and make investigations, and he took him and a team to Belsen and Arbeit Mein Freight, Auschwitz. And Arbeit Mein Freight means strength in diversity. Now, where have we heard them words recently? There's strength in diversity. Yeah. Arbeit, mind, freight. They should haunt you. These words should haunt you. So anyway, he started going into concentration camps, and the guards and that were being a bit shifty, and he started to notice like blood here and body, and he thought, oh, anyway, he was really starting to make some big waves in their court system, okay, up until the point until the Third Reich actually came into power and Adolf was voted in, and then he was at home having a cup of tea and a bratwurst, because they love them bratwursts, the Germans, let me tell you. And someone pointed a Luger at him and put 2 slugs in his head. And that was the end of him. So all I'm saying is, woe betide people that don't pay attention to the people that are screaming at the top of their voice, Cooey, pay attention. You should pay attention, because otherwise it's all going to repeat itself, isn't it? Kobe and P, my niece helped. Here, friend out, stayed at his flat for the first few nights in the flat. He didn't want to be alone. Oh, they both died of carbon gas from a badly fitted gas water heater. Oh my God, when was that? When was that? Oh my Jesus. Well, I've been a gas engineer for, God knows. When did I start my plumbing and heating apprenticeship? Well, I finished my apprenticeship in 1987. I know, I'm too young. I bet you're all thinking at home going, what's this get? Really? Yeah. Yeah, I'm old fossil. I'm a fossil, all right? But I'm voicey. I'm someone that's always voicing an opinion, and I wouldn't voice an opinion unless my country, if my country was all singing and dancing pretty much like it was years ago, I wouldn't even bother. I would not even bother. Yes, I love you all, I do, but I wouldn't waste my time coming in here and screaming and this and that about these bits and bobs. I just wouldn't. It would be pointless exercise, because if we're all having a nice time, there'd be no need for these chit chats, right? Exactly. So I finished my apprenticeship in 1987. Then in 1991, I got the first Corgi certification. Okay, and let me tell you, all I will say is I've done plenty of tests and gone through loads and loads of gas safe certifications and college visits, and I can honestly say that I truly believe that unless you've done an apprenticeship and you spent at least 4 or 5 years cutting your teeth in the plumbing and heating industry, that you shouldn't have a gas ticket. I truly believe that, because I've seen people that have been given tickets that have had career changes and come from like butchers and bakers, and they've had enough and they've gone and done a gas course, got a gas ticket, Lord knows how, and at the end of it, cause nothing but trouble. So you need to do an apprenticeship, and look, all this gas industry stuff is just a money spin. It's about control and money. It's not about safety. It's not about safety. I'll tell you for why. When you sign up for all these things like a driver license, a gas certificate, whatever it is you're doing that you're professing to be qualified in, Corgi didn't exist. No, Corgi did actually exist, but it wasn't this thing called mandatory. Corgi had been around for a long time, and Corgi still goes today. But the point is this: whenever you beg and plead to have a license, you're begging to commit a crime. And I know that sounds mad, but you are begging to commit a crime. You've actually, the minute you sign the license, licentious behaviour, you've committed the crime. All they need to do to perfect that is catch you in the act. 36 and a 30, 45 and a 40, 80 and a 70. They've caught you in the act, you've got no defence. You beg to commit a crime by getting a licence. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm really sorry that your family have lost their lives, but honestly, they really do let some people that really shouldn't be getting through. And even my dad's 70. And he wouldn't like me for saying that, but he's, same trade. He said they're giving tickets out left, right, and centre. He said it's all for money. He said it's all so wrong, absolutely wrong. But there you go, back on track. Before I was born, Marshall. What, 1987? Really? My God, 1992. I become a plumber, as you know. Did not know I could help my poor sister. My point: live your life, like you say. You got to live your life. Man, if you're worried about 9/11, you're worried about the coronavirus, you're worried about chicken flu, you're worried about all these other things. Oh, there's a boogeyman out there. Oh, the RA are out there. But I mean, live your life, peeps. Come on, live your lives. Get back to reality. Live your lives. Barry Sheen, son. Barry Sheen. I've been out for a cycle this morning, my man. I've been out for a cycle, and I thought, let's come and have half hour with you lovely people. So, yeah, let's get back to this story. We're going to talk about, this is just Facebook. I'm really tempted to come off of Facebook soon because it is a cesspit, isn't it? Ain't Facebook a cesspit? But I hang in there just in the sheer hope that people, the BBC is saying the British Buggering Corporation, actually, no, it's the Sun newspaper, pub beer gardens could open from March. So the peasants will be allowed to go in the beer gardens. I'm not too sure you'll be able to buy alcoholic drinks. For me, I've said this time and time again. The pub might open, the gardens might open. They might not be selling beer. They might act all weird with the masks. I'm not having it. I'm not participating in it. And then they have to change and go back to normal. If you go and participate in their fuckery, then their fuckery will continue. If you decide to say, do you know what? I'm quite normal. I'm just going to live my life. I don't want all these so-called restrictions and that, so I'm just going to crack on with my life. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Guess what? They'll all change. They'll all come back very, very soon. Let me see if I can get on this news article about this poor old dear who's actually been euthanized. Oh, my days. Here we go. It's going to ask me, do I want to subscribe? And I'm going to say no. Right, so it says here, nursing home resident euthanized against her will. This is by a guy called, this is 3 years ago. This article's appeared. Paul Russell was the author of this beautiful bit of work, February the 20th, Washington, D.C. Once you create a situation at law where killing of another is allowed in certain circumstances, not only will them circumstances to which such killing is endorsed or allowed change over time. That is so true. Hope everyone can see me. But the boundaries, however, originally drawn will be entirely ineffective in providing moral, legal, and ethical guidance and restraints. In Belgium and the Netherlands, in the thousands of euthanasia deaths since the law came into 2002, few cases have been referred by the review system to justice for further scrutiny. In Belgium, that number is one case only. According to a multiplicity of reports, an unnamed woman, an octogenarian, I don't know what that is, living in a nursing home and experiencing dementia, was euthanized against her will. She had made a comment in her advance directive that she would like euthanasia when I find out it is the right time. The woman had been a resident in a nursing home for only 7 weeks. Now, euthanasia for me should be about if you there was a guy did it in Kent actually. I think he was a football player years ago and he broke his neck and bless him, he become a bit of a vegetable. Love his heart. And he went to Switzerland, didn't he? And they said to him, if you drink this milkshake, you're going to die. And he drank it. That's massively different from being euthanized against your will. All right. So that's where this is moving into. The Nazis were big on euthanizing you against your will. Because let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, the only the system that we live in at the moment considers you to be collateral, profitable. You know, pay this tax, pay that tax, pay your council tax. And then when you retire or you can't work, you become a pain in the arse because then you're bleeding from them. And they don't like that because they like their private pensions and their private yachts and all their private bits and bobs. They love that. They don't want that. So you become a pain. So that's why they're gonna start rolling this out, because if they kill off all the pensioners, which to be honest with you, I'm seeing in the nursing homes, they said that the death rate of nursing homes is up 20,000 this year than last year. Well, to me, that's 20,000 elderly people that haven't really had the right to speak for themselves that have been terminated. And I find that really, really hard to stomach, because the dichotomy and the ironic part about it is it's one day it's going to be you, ladies and gentlemen. One day it's going to be you, because you're going to get older. You know, I'm 53. I know I don't look it, but I am. I'm 53. And I've just been down and seen my couple of mates. I've cycled down and we've had a chat and a couple of cups of coffee. And I said, I don't feel any different now than when I was 16, 18, 20. I still feel pretty fit, bundles of energy generally, and in a really good place. And that place comes from my mentality, because I don't let nothing chink my armour. I couldn't give a monkey's rat's monkey's uncle what's going on there. I couldn't care if it's COVID related. I couldn't care if there was a comet hurling towards Earth at 1,000 miles an hour that was going to cause total devastation. I couldn't care. I really couldn't. The only thing I care about is being nice to people and living a decent full life. And when then God says it's time to go home, like the mouse on the mouse organ, we all go to bed. I'm not going to worry about these things. I'm really not going to worry. And if I get something happen to me in my life, I will deal with it in that moment, in that minute. Now, you're going to like what I'm going to say to you in a second, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to law and stuff. And I want you to get a pen and paper, and I want you to write this down, because I want you, God bless every single one of you, I want you to implement this into your everyday lives. I don't care who's coming at you, whether it's the gorgeous police force that are only interested in money, control and power, or whether it's a corporation. I want you to memorize these words that I'm just about to say. I want you to write them down, and I want them to be so quick off your tongue, and I bet I'll mess them up, that it becomes second nature. All right, I really do. Can you see? Here we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? That's a bit better. So yeah, you look so young, Kobe. I'll be 54 in September. I've still got guns. I've still got 6 packs. I can still get the morning. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, mate. I'm telling you, I've got a heart rate. Let's check my heart rate. My heart rate's normally about. I better drop dead later. But do I care? Couldn't care less. No, couldn't care less. No, not a chance. I smacked my thumb. So I'm paying no attention to it. I'm just like, yeah, you'll get over it. My thumb will come right when it comes right. The pain's gone now. The minute I said, Bosh, yeah, it's gone. I'll tell you a little interesting thing as well. How powerful the brain is. 84. Oh, it's quite. I've had a few cups of coffee this morning. I've been out cycling. So, but normally when I'm resting, my heart rate's late 40s, early 50s. I'm lucky like that. Many years ago, I burnt my arm on a copper pipe. I just soldered it, and my mate come into this house I was working in, and we're chatting away, and I didn't realise I was stuck to this pipe, and it all went infected. And my granddad, and I didn't pay attention to it, you know, and my granddad ended up in hospital, in King's College Hospital. So I went up and see him because he had a busted gut. He was in his 70s at the time. He got to 96. He sorted himself out. He was taking aspirin for years, and it rotted his stomach, and he had a bleed. But they fixed him, put him back together. I was sat with my arms behind my head, chatting with him, and my arms all going a bit stingy, really, to be honest with you. But the point is this: when I burnt myself, it wasn't until someone said, "You've burnt your arm," that the pain come, because I didn't even realise I'd done it. And all the time I'm stuck on this. Couldn't feel a thing. I never knew I was doing it. Someone said, "Oh, you're stuck on that. You're burning it," and also bomb. Then the pain come, right? So anyway, I'm up there, got my hands behind my head, and this big Jamaican gorgeous nurse has come up to me, and she's gone, "Do you want to lose that?" I said, "Lose what?" She said, "Your arm." I went, "Not particularly. I work with my hands for a living." She said, "Come with me." She said, "I could smell that from the end of the wall." I went, "No way." She went, "I'm telling you." So she took me down. She sorted my arm out. She gave me some antibiotics. She said, "Take them home and take them with her." Beautiful woman, beautiful, beautiful. Loved her to pieces. I said, "Oh, thanks, mate. It's really kind of you." So that's the point. Your brain's a very powerful thing. You know, where you let your attention go, your energy will flow. So if you pay no attention to all this craziness that the government is a fear-based system. Oh, what's the boogeyman? Oh, we're going to take your house. Oh, we're going to take your kids. Oh, we're going to take your car. Yeah. Fear-based, fear. No different from the Nazi Party. That's how they operated. They allowed everybody in fear. Come away from the curtains. The police are out. So come away, George. Don't look out. They come for you next. We never used to be like this. If there was a wrong going on, we'd be out there telling the police to jog on. What do you think you're playing at? They've done nothing wrong. Now it's up for grabs. But the point is this: I want you to memorise. Have you got your pieces of paper? Have you got your pieces of paper at home? I want you to remind. You're gonna like this. You are so gonna like this. Anyone coming to London for the march? I have a room free for the night. Pass on my contact details if anyone. Yeah, marching and I can't be doing it. The only time I go to Downing Street is if my brothers and sisters of my country, a good 500,000 of them, decide that they want to get their country back, and then they go up to Downing Street and they get the gates open and they say to the coppers, stand down, and then they give the politicians the book of the rule of law and say, right, you're back to the rule of law, because we are a country at the rule of law, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you that for sure. And they tell their politicians, you do anything outside the rule of law, when we come back, you're out. And then you put people back in there that are at the rule of law, right? Simple. Who wouldn't want that? Dave New's name, Stud Muffin. Ooh. Right, so I want you to write this down. I want you to remember this, right? Whenever you get any letter through the post from whatever corporation it is, whether it be the courts or police, I want you to remember this. I want you to write this down. Are you ready? Let's go. I conditionally accept all of your claims upon verified proof of claim that I was acting in the capacity of a person at the time of whatever was going on. They can't do it. They can't do it. Anyway, peeps, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm going to go and have myself a nice bit of lunch. I thought I'd leave that to the end. You'll like that. Write it down. Memorize it. I accept all of it on proof of claim that I'm acting in the capacity of a person. Because as we all know, persons ain't real. You can have a legal person, a corporation, a building can be a person. Yeah? They're not real. They're fictions. And they can't prove it. God bless you all. I'll see you all soon. Be back later.